Hello and welcome to my workshop. Today we're going to do another laser project. I was rather surprised to actually find out that there wasn't very many good laser tutorial videos out on YouTube. And I've had a lot of you ask me for certain tutorials which I'm going to cover today. The first one is going to be how to etch into wood a photograph, and we're also going to cover making a product. Well, this is really making a product, but making a product for something like Christmas. And that situation is going to be etching into glass. So I hope it's going to be informative for you. One thing I'd like to point out to you, and I'll zoom into the screen here on my YouTube page here. There's a number of things I want to just point out to you. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who is watching my channel and watching my videos, because it's pushing now 43 million views and nearly 160,000 subscribers. Guys, thank you very, very much. This is all down to you, and I never expected anything like this at all. And Google has asked me to, I suppose, link up with other stations to give them a helping hand as well. Not that most of them need a helping hand, but I've chosen ones that I watch frequently, like CNC Nuts Peter in New Zealand, Frank Howarth in America, Blue Hands videos, he's CNC, these are all CNC actually, in wood and metal, and CNC 4X7. These are all the stations that I watch. And another one that I've introduced is Con O'Neill Music. If you like Mark Knopfler, you'll like this guy. In fact, Con O'Neill is coming into my studio the end of this week, so I shall be doing a video with him. So he'll be doing some live music here. And also he's very kindly allowing me to use some of his tracks in the background of my videos. So we've got that to look forward to. Okay, now this is quite simply done to manipulate or alter a photograph or picture of any type to treat it to be used in a laser or for laser engraving. Now, I use all free software, and the first one is a Windows production, and that is Paint Utility, and this is a Windows program. It is free. I don't believe in paying for a program that works very, very well. You know, you don't need a $2,000 program to manipulate a photograph to get perfect outcome in a laser. So what you do, just simply drag and drop, and this is our first picture. Now, this at the moment is a JPEG picture, and of course a laser won't, you know, you can't use a JPEG picture straight in a laser. So what you do, very, very simply, just one swift move, is save it as a bitmap. Now what a bitmap is, it changes this black color and the white to pixels, the little square pixels. Now that is what a laser understands. Now it might shock you, but that is really all you have to do. That's it. As soon as you have saved that to a bitmap, you can put it straight into laser cut and then manipulate it and prepare it straight for the laser. What we do is we import it. I'm using a different computer now. This is the computer that is directly coupled up to the laser, running Windows 10. And also what you do, you come up here and to import. And we're importing this picture here. So you just double click on it and in it comes. At the moment that's a little bit too big. That is actually 200 millimeters long, that's about 8 inches. So we'll bring it down to a more manageable level. So we get the select tool, put some handles around it, and you just put the cursor just on the side of the picture there and right click, and then you get this dialog box up and you say, I want to resize that. Now keep the lock on. Now this keeps if you alter 1, it keeps the aspect ratio in the correct manner, and it will automatically come down to, and it won't distort. So what I'm going to do is the X, which is this direction, I'm going to come down to 120, 120, and the other dimension automatically comes to suit. I'm going to press OK. Now if you look at this picture, it's a very reasonable reproduction there. And in actual fact, what you see is what you're going to get. The laser will etch this into most materials exactly what you see there. If you know what you're doing, if you are correct with your power and speed selection. Now that's going to alter with the different materials. Now I've showed you in the last few videos how to choose the correct speed and feeds, and this is done just by trial and error on a piece of material that you're going to use to do the job, and you keep a permanent record, so then you can go back to it and you'll know exactly what settings you need to get a certain result. Now then, I've already preset this one, but we'll go through it. So double click, which will bring you the wizard up. Now then, I normally for this sort of engraving use 300 millimeters a second, which is 11, let me just get a rule a second. It's actually 11 3/4 inches. I've got so you've got a 300 here and roll it over. It's just a shade under 12 inches, about 11 3/4 inches. So you guys in America and other places around the world that use imperial, you get some idea of what I'm talking about. Now lasers operate with, they use 2 forms of measurement. One is DPI, which is dots per inch, and I'll come to that in a second. And the other one, the general measurements of speed and feed running of the laser, is in millimeters up here. Now this is the percentage of your laser. Now in previous videos I've been quite long-winded actually about the power level. Now the percentage, just because this is a 100 watt laser, it doesn't mean to say that it's going to put out 20 watts and 35 watts minimum and maximum power levels. What it actually means is that this is percentage of the power sent. In other words, the electrical power sent from the power unit to the laser, the high voltage power unit, that is. So this in fact would relate to about 35 watts in laser output, and this would probably be something like 50 watts of laser output. It is not a linear scale. Okay, now if you look back at my previous videos on lasers, I go into great detail. Now then, bidirection, that means the laser is going to fire this way and that way. If I untick that, the laser would only fire one direction and then not fire on the return. So that's what bidirection means, two directions. Engraved blow-in. Now this is necessary because the blow-in part of it is the air blowing through the nozzle where the laser comes out. Now a lot of people think that the laser actually burns the material away. That is true, but you need to evacuate the resulting gases. Otherwise, those gases can prevent the laser doing its job. It sort of masks it. So you need this blower on to be able to clear the debris away, and also it keeps the lens cool. So if you run your laser without that blower on, you're going to damage your lens or muck it up or turn out with a pretty horrible job. So always run with the blower on. Okay, now scan gap. The scan gap is the amount that the laser moves each time it sweeps across. It will move into the material, in this case 0.1 of a millimeter. And this is fairly normal. The actual dot size of this particular laser is between 0.09 and 0.1. And in this case, burning wood or etching wood, 0.1 is fine. It gives a very, very nice reproduction, as you can see. Now then, down top. Now what this means and why I prefer this, it will, the 0 point, or the start of the program, is up in this top corner. The datum point, rather. Okay, it's called several different things. So when you set the datum point and you set the, well, I always test then, press the test, and it will run around the outside and show you that yes, it will do it in that material. So down top, what that means is it's going to come down to the actually bottom of the picture that you are going to etch. It'll start here and work its way backwards. That is preferred because the airflow, the evacuating airflow, is coming from the front of the machine going across. So it takes away the debris, and if any debris is blown back down onto the piece of material, you're going to cut it off. So you end up with a cleaner representation. These are grayed out because they really don't matter. This, right, you would fill this in if you have a certain size sheet on your table and you wanted to have the nozzle or the head go to its home position and start from there. But you would have to position your material exactly where you wanted it and these coordinates here would be to the top right hand corner of the start of your material. So the nozzle will come from the home position of the machine to a designated area which you put here, an XY location to start the job. That's what that means. I hardly ever use it.
Pick the right time to start again. I picked the right time for me again. Some people say they talk to me, say that love is blind, that worries me. And all I know is how I feel today, and how I feel feels like this won't go away, 'cause I know what she wants. Something deep and blue, something like a locket, reminds her of you. And I know what she wants. Something deep and blue, something like a locket, reminds her of you. And when she cries, rains on you inside. I picked them. I picked them. I picked the right time to start again. I picked the right time for me again. Some people say they talk to me, say that love is blind, that worries me. And all I know is how I feel today, and how I feel feels like this won't go away, 'cause I know what she wants. Something deep and blue, something like a locket, reminds her of you. And I know what she wants. Something deep and blue, something like a locket, reminds her of you. And when she cries, it rains on you inside.
Debris. So it's just a fairly stiff, clean brush. And it brings it up a little bit better. Of course, if you varnish this, it really brings it up nice and crisp after cleaning it off.